Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this month's Google Hangout. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Apologies that the people from the Middle East won't be able to join today. I learned too late that it's a holiday. However, I hope that you'll find the recording of the session helpful as well. And if you have any questions after, please feel free to drop me an email, or we can repeat this Hangout next month, beginning of October. So just one thing up front, I think there might be some questions about IRS and IDP as well. So please use this as a forum to ask questions that you have around the Blitz, the launch of new restaurant sites and new independent property homepages. So ask me anything you want, really. Thank you. Let's get right to it. So the first question, I think it came in even before this, from Katarzyna, which we'll select. Hello, Johanna. I have found a lot of broken URLs containing the word footprint. They are often connected with meeting sites. However, when I go to the source link, I cannot see any redirection link to the broken page. What should I do? So yeah, it's a problem that I've seen also on some meeting sites. There's a number of problems. So first of all, I think it could be that the file is, or the link is not non-existing, but instead it's just really slow in loading. There's nothing we can do about it, but so this is one of the instances we just have to ignore for now until there will be an update to the platform, and then the problem will hopefully disappear by itself. There's also some flash still in those pages, and yeah, I think that the where you can see the footprint is just really slow to load. So ignore them for now, and we just have to live with it until we do something to those platforms. Thank you. Sorry about that. Another question from Tatsina. Another question from my side. If I cannot see any redirection link on the external page indicated by Google as the source of a broken URL, can I mark this URL as fixed, or is there anything else to do to investigate it? So there shouldn't be a redirection link. So what would happen if another website links, sorry, still sleepy, it's early here. Normally what would happen is another webmaster with a website places a link to one of the pages on your site. And then the link becomes broken once this page is deleted. So that's when you find them as 404 pages. There isn't normally a redirect. The only thing that you would do internally on your site is when you delete a page, and you know you're deleting it, but there's other helpful information on a similar page, for example, then you can place a redirect. It's normally a 302 redirect, which means this page has moved permanently. If you put that in place, then the link is still broken, but there's a redirect. However, then if you have put in a redirect for a certain page, you normally see them as a soft error or soft 404 in the broken links list, so they're in a different place. If the page has been deleted completely, then it's a broken link, and then what you have to do is to contact the webmaster and ask them if they could change the link and maybe link it to a different page or the home page, or just remove the link completely. But the two things are not necessarily related. So the redirects wouldn't happen from an external source. It's something that you can do internally, but should only do if there really is a useful alternative page. If you just link, or if you just delete a page and then redirect to the home page, in most cases it's not very useful. And the content is completely different. So it's not something that the user would appreciate. It's probably mostly just annoying. So in that case, don't do that. Just ask for the link to be removed or changed. I hope that answers the question. If not, please send me a follow-up. Thank you. Question from Ralph from Germany. Oh, you're not at the Oktoberfest. Thank you for making an appearance. Is it possible for Starboard to support our IDPs more by adding links to our sites from AHBB mailings? Sorry, don't know what that is. The SOPs or from branded websites. I think that all links we are receiving from branded sites are not displayed very prominently. Okay, so what you want to receive is backlinks from other pages. So one thing, I think from branded sites, it's not very, we're linking to them from the IDPs, but I don't think that receiving links from brand.com might be the most helpful thing. Because it's one domain linking to all of our IDPs, there will be a lot of outlinks and it will weaken brand.com further. So we're currently ranking better than with IDPs than with brand.com anyway, for a number of reasons. But I think you will only see a slight uplift. What would be more helpful is having links from other sources, which we'll talk about in more detail probably in Q1 next year. So that's the one thing, and the other thing is just, you know, what a beast brand.com is. So I think it would be difficult to receive to do anything there. Like we can't even change words on that page. So I doubt that we'll be able to place links to the IDPs. So the AHBB mailings page and the SOP sites, same. So it's the mailing sites. I don't know how easy they are to change, so you could look into getting a backlink from there. Same with SOPs. However, again, I would really look into it. I doubt that you will get much SEO value, but I would have to you'd have to evaluate each of those sites first. However, it's a great idea. Any backlink might be a good link as long as it's not spammy. So you can consider it, but like I said, we'll look into backlinks a bit in more detail next year, and we'll have to do a lot more than just that. But if you want to email me offline, and we'll look into those too. Thank you. As always, I've created some questions myself to give you time to write your own. I hope you'll find the ones that I'm asking helpful too. If not, let me know. And please feel free to ask your own questions anytime. So one thing I wanted to look into a bit more is just whether or not broken links are bad for SEO. And also, you're probably wondering why you have to go through this exercise of fixing all the broken links. As with so many things, broken links are not necessarily bad for your ranking, so they don't negatively affect you, but you are missing an opportunity if you have a lot of broken links for a number of reasons. So as always, a good quality site is always better than a bad quality site. And having broken things is never a good thing. From a broken window, broken cup, or broken links on a site. So it's just good practice to fix them. And then the other bit is about usability and user-friendliness. So if you have broken links, for one, this might be annoying for the users on the site. If, for example, they click on a different website, they click on a link and then come to your homepage when actually they wanted to read about something very specific, which is why the link was placed to that page in the first place. So it's just annoying, and it might lead to the person leaving your page, maybe bouncing, and that can in turn negatively affect your SEO value. The other thing is that, and I think we've discussed this previously, the first step to doing well on the web and being indexed and then ranking on Google is to be indexed. Otherwise, if your page has not been indexed by Google, you can never appear in search rankings at all for that site. So it's like as if that page didn't exist to Google. So the very first thing that we have to do is really help the robot crawl your site. And as you might know, they use links in order to find new sites. So if the robot, say, comes to your homepage, then it will first scroll the homepage, and then if there's a link, it will follow the link like in a web, a spider web. It will follow that link and go to the next page. If there's a page that isn't linked to at all from your site, then it will probably be less likely to be indexed. It might still, because the robot also uses your sitemap, but the chance is just less. So that's the one thing. And then if you have broken links, well, you're just sending the robot in a circle. It will probably not stay on your site for a long time if you have broken links, and you are reducing the chance of pages that are valuable of actually being indexed, because you're just sending it into a dead end, if that makes sense. So it's not really a thing, but that's kind of an image to explain things. So while they're not necessarily bad for your SEO, you are really missing out on an opportunity, which is why we should fix all of those broken links. A lot of those, by the way, have been due to the fact that the language attribution didn't work properly in the CMS. So if you placed an internal link in a version other than the language version other than the original, it would the link wouldn't work. It wouldn't add the / language code thingy into the link. And that's why you had a lot of broken links that actually weren't really broken. It was just the CMS didn't work properly. And the great news is that's been fixed for you. So moving forward, the number of broken links should have reduced a lot. So the only thing really for having the only cause for having internal broken links is if you've deleted a page and forgot to update any links that were linking to that page. So please fix those. Thank you. Related question to that is, why should we remove broken links? I think, yeah, we've just answered that in great length. If you have broken links, you are missing out on the opportunity. So for the spider, you're missing out on the opportunity of another page being linked, because the spider or robot ends up in a dead end. So that's one thing. It's just bad practice, and it's very annoying to users to click on links, whether from internal or external, and then ending up with a 404 error. That's just annoying. And that's why, in the name of user friendliness, we should fix broken links. Thank you, Ralph. Hello, Katerina. So I have a looping redirect issue from /concierge to /concierge with lowercase. The /concierge with uppercase is a deleted page. How could this issue be fixed, as it seems to be a capitalization issue? Yes, indeed. So normally upper and lower case shouldn't really matter. So I'll have to look into that. Let's take it offline. The easiest might be if you do a 302 redirect from the upper case, which is the deleted one, to the lower case. But I will look into it. If you send me an email with the page that it concerns, then I'll look into the backend and see how we can fix this. Sorry. Hello. Hello. Morning. How are you? Good, thank you. Can I hang out? Do you want to say hi to everybody? Sorry, Katarzyna. Hello, Johanna. What I meant by my second question was that what I should do if I cannot identify the broken URL on the external page that Google shows at the source. Should I mark it fixed, or should we investigate more? Well, the second half is easy. No, don't mark it fixed if it's not fixed. And actually, it will be identified as not fixed by the next crawl. Only mark things as fixed if you really have fixed the issue, and Google will still verify themselves whether or not that's really the case. So you can only speed up the process a little by marking things as fixed, but you cannot deceive Google. Actually, you can never. And then so basically what you mean is you cannot find where this broken link came from on the existing page. Is that right? I hope I read this question right. If not, please please send another question in. So I'm understanding your question as you have seen that there is a broken link that comes from an external source. Then you go onto that page where the link comes from, and you cannot find where the broken link is. So either you can do it a complicated way and do some further investigation into finding that broken link. It could be that it's hidden somewhere, which is really bad practice, actually. So that shouldn't be the case, but sometimes it is. So the easiest thing, if you know the page that it comes from, you right-click with your mouse onto that page and then go into View Page Source. And then there you can actually find any broken links. So if they were hidden in the frame of the page, for example, or sometimes they hide them in images or hide them in areas of the page that don't contain text and just make it the same color so that you cannot find the link. But that way you would identify anything that's in the source code, and then you can contact the webmaster and ask them to remove the link. But if Google has detected a broken link, it normally means it's there. So however, if you cannot find the link in the page, in the source of the page either, it could be that the link actually is fixed, but because this is an older version that has been indexed, so sometimes the crawler only comes by every month or sometimes only 6 months. So in the last half year, at some point, the crawler has found a link from this page to your site in its indexed version. But in the meantime, the webmaster has removed that broken link, and now everything is fine. In that case, if you have confirmed with the webmaster that there is definitely no link back to your site, you could mark it as fixed. Or you could just ask them to submit it for recrawling, and then there would be a new version of the corrected version of that page without the link. So that's the two options. So normally either the link is hidden, or it's just an older the index page is quite old already, and then you can ask for the resubmission. Thank you, Katerina. One question that relates to the broken links from external pages. So what to do if the webmaster refuses to take the link down or asks for payment even? So, and I told you before, sometimes people used to hide links in places other than the visible text, which was really, really bad SEO. So normally things like that would now be considered as spammy and can actually be detected by Google. So that would be really bad for your page as well, and for your ranking. So those are links that definitely have to be removed because they will negatively impact your ranking. However, as you could probably imagine, if the person who placed that link in the first place did it with bad intentions, maybe you've even paid them or somebody has paid them to place the link for a long time ago, then this was still okay. But now it's bad, so you need that to be removed. So it could be that the person who placed the link is actually asking you to pay them to take the link off. So obviously you don't want to be blackmailed. So you never, you will never pay for a link to be removed because we shouldn't have paid them in the first place. So if the link is bad, then we don't do that. What you can do, there's some things through Google Webmaster Tools where you can ask for links not to be considered. Please email me before you do that, and then we can look into that together. But there are ways which are difficult, but sometimes you can get them off in other ways. I hope though that nobody would actually refuse for those links to be taken off. But if you have an incident like that, please get in touch and we'll see what you can do.
It's the only form of yellow I can wear.
Thank you, Deep Link Star. Okay.
And one day I want to have a mustard and gray rim.
What have we got here? How are we supposed? Sorry, can't read my own question. How are we supposed to approach webmasters who link to a non-existing page on our sites? So let's assume this is a nice webmaster and not one that wants to be paid. Well, let's just assume it's a normal case. So normally what you can do, so the first thing is sometimes it may be hard to identify who the webmaster actually is or who to contact. So we know that you found the page, and then in the best scenario possible, there is a contact email where you can just approach the person and say, hey, I found, thank you for linking to our sites. That's great that you're supporting us. But actually, you're linking to a page that doesn't exist anymore. And then the best practice would be to actually suggest a different page that they can link to. So, for example, they were linking to an offers page that doesn't exist, or an events page even that was for spring, but now it's autumn and that event doesn't exist anymore. So before you approach them, think about a very good alternative for that link. Why were they linking to that page in the first place? What was their intention? What value did they want to add to their users of their site and placing that link? And then make a good suggestion of where else they could link to. So if you're offering a good alternative, they're more likely to actually make that change. Add a little paragraph about why they shouldn't link to that page but to the other, and what you think the added value is for them. And then just kindly ask them to remove the link. If you know how the link came into being in the first place and you have a contact email already and a contact person that you've been in touch with previously, then obviously it's even better, and you can probably just ask them in an informal way to change the link. Okay. If you have more questions about that, please feel free to get in touch. Why do we need to build links between pages on our own site? Isn't a sitemap enough? That question relates to what we've explained before about the need to get indexed and how we can help the robot indexing as many pages on our site as possible. The other point is, again, user-friendliness. So it's always the same things. I hope you don't get bored already. So if you place links in between pages, the one thing is you're helping the robot finding more pages. So the more links you have between pages with relevant anchor text, anchor text is the thing when the words that you see that are underlined in a really kind of lay explanation. But that's basically what the link is called. What is, you're adding some explanation to that link and why you are linking to the other page. So for example, you're linking to a page about cupcakes and the anchor text would say, great cupcakes. Then it's easier to determine what the meaning of that link is. If you call the anchor text cupcakes, but you're linking to a page about sausages, then that's not very helpful. So you shouldn't do that. It should be meaningful, but it can also be something like find out more here. That's also perfectly fine. However, the more meaningful your anchor text, the better. It helps both the robots and the humans who are on your page. So yeah, for one, you are making suggestions to a robot on your page of what other pages they can link, and you're adding some meaning to those links, which is great when those things are being indexed, because then when it comes to returning a result for somebody's search query, it's easier to actually determine what this link might be valuable for. And the other thing, and that's been the case since the beginning of the web really, is that we have this opportunity to in the web, we don't have to write all the information on one page, but instead we are linking to other pages where you can find further information about any given subject. So you're adding helpful information to a text, but you're still keeping the text short and readable. And that's really what you should do on the web, and how links are adding more helpful information. looking at it the other way around, if you don't have any links in a text, are you really giving the user the most information that you could? Are you being as helpful as you could be? Or are you just, I don't know, can't be bothered or don't want to add more? I know oftentimes we don't link because we're stressed for time and we just want to get the content out there. But actually, we could be a bit more helpful and we can provide more information if somebody is interested in a given subject. So by placing links, we are just being really helpful and giving people more information about certain subjects. And as we know, we should always focus on the user and be useful. So placing links is just something really useful to do, and that's why we should do it. Thank you, Katarzyna. I hope I pronounced your name right. Another question from Ralph. Hi, Jana. I just recognized that our meeting pages are still creating crawling errors. It is always caused by the PDF print views, like the link that you said. How should we handle this? Thanks, Ralph, for the question. We actually talked about the meeting sites at the very beginning of this Hangout as well. I know there's problems. Unfortunately, they can't be fixed. The errors, I believe, don't come from the non-existing PDF, but instead because they're really slow, so they can't be accessed unless some flash in them. I think there's plans on doing something about meeting sites in the near future. So in this instance, I suggest we wait until the whole issue is being fixed, and then those errors will be removed as well. Like I said, it doesn't negatively affect you if you have broken links. It's just a missing out on an opportunity. So in this instance, it would require more effort to do something in the short term than the value that we would get, unfortunately. So we will wait this one out and do something, fix it once the sites are being updated. Okay. Only a few questions, and actually we are almost up with our time, but if you have any more questions, please feel free to send them in, and we can run a little over. That's fine as well. Just keep your questions coming. Thank you. Okay, so you may have noticed this as well. Anybody who's using Moz.com, for example, or has put their sites into the Open Site Explorer, that's free, and you don't need an account, by the way. So if you use Open Site Explorer, it's on the Astra article as well. You may have found that you have a lot of links from the same linking domain, and some of them, in some instances, they're even marked as spammy. Those links are hidden in your, not hidden, but they're in your footer of every IDP. We have links to other pages, to other IDPs, sorry. The original idea was that if you get a lot of backlinks, that's good. So why not help each other out? And I think Ralph has already also had that thought with other sites before. So the idea was, let's help each other out, link to each other, and then let's get all of our rankings up. That used to be a good idea, but it's not anymore since a couple of years ago. Actually, now if you have lots of links from the same linking domain and actually in the footer, which means it's a site-wide link, that's bad. It's really bad and should never be the case. So what you will see very soon is that you can mark those links as no follow. Obviously, I don't know if anybody has a benefit of having those links. If you have the power to remove them without getting in trouble, remove those footer links completely. You can find them in the backend of your live CMS. So either remove them or mark them as no follow. Otherwise, you're so you're actually hurting yourself in two ways. With the links that you are placing to another site, you are losing link juice, and with the inbound links, you are being hurt because you might have spammy links. So you could actually rank a lot better if you didn't have those links. So like I said, if you can remove them, so you might get in trouble though. Somebody might have an interest in having that link to their site. So if they're giving you a hard time, mark them as no follow. At least then it's a little bit better and it looks more natural. Okay. What's the strategy for next year? So yeah, you've heard me talk a lot about link building. You might have had higher expectations of what's to come. And then we ended up just fixing links instead of building new ones. And you might be wondering, like, what? Why shouldn't we do some more? So the reason why we aren't doing active link building, meaning why aren't we reaching out to other webmasters and do something actively to get links to our sites in order to improve our ranking? Why aren't we doing this? So one reason is that we are launching new sites, so we are in a big kind of change process. And there's two reasons, two things attached with that. One, it's a lot of work. So we're probably, I don't think many of you have the time to do active link building. The other reason is that there's a lot of changes. So if you build links now to certain pages, we might just end up with broken links next year, and then you have to reach out to the same people again and ask for them to fix those links, which would create double work. So rather than doing that, we will wait until next year and we'll really focus on that. So the strategy for this year, or the 2-year strategy, really is to first do a homework, have our sites in order, not have any broken links, have optimized content, and create share-worthy and link-worthy content. And then next year we'll do some more active work in getting links and improving our ranking. We'll have to be very careful that the link profile will look naturally, so we can't be too active in that either. So too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. But we will be more kind of active in pursuing backlinks and improving our ranking next year. But we'll also start next month, by the way, because what you may have noticed is that organic search results are becoming increasingly less important or decreasingly important. Google is really taking over the first page for themselves and with their own product. So I already want to make you aware that next month we'll focus on Google Plus and Google My Business listings. They have become very important both for paid and for organic search. So they're important for everything. Everybody who's been mocking Google Plus has now gotten Google's revenge for that, I think. Personally, of course, I like Google Plus. But yeah, so next month we'll focus heavily on optimizing the Google My Business listings, which may become even more important than having backlinks. Anyway, but yeah, so that's one important strategy. And then the other one is increasing links. And then for the rest, we'll see how next year goes. We'll have a lot to do still with the page layout builder upgrade and moving all of our secondary pages over to the new live CMS version. So we'll be busy with that. But at the same time, we'll do some more optimization for search as well. Thank you. Hi, Ralph. Thank you for your question regarding meeting issues. Can we just mark the issues as fixed? No, please don't, because the issue isn't fixed. Just leave it there as it is. Never try to deceive Google. It will just come and haunt you in the end and bite you in the back. So the issue isn't fixed, but it's okay. So you just ignore it for now, please. Thank you. This once. And you don't often get to just ignore things. So. Oh, sorry. Just that reminds me, I mentioned that we'll do something about meeting sites soon, next year sometime. Also with the footer links, the issue on the homepage will have solved itself soon as well, because in the new IDP version, we won't have footer links anymore. Okay, last chance for any questions from yourselves. I just wanted to use the opportunity. So if you have any questions about the Blitz and the IDP and RS, this is your chance to speak up and get a quick answer. If not, you can email me about it as well. In the last digital call, we've already talked about the timing plans, and you should have received Jess's email with the details about it. So just to say, that in the biggest effort ever at Starboard, I think, we will launch very shortly after Web Canada makes the new IDPs available. We will already make them go live. So as you know, having something available and actually going live are two very different things. One is a very technical thing. The other is related to content and having sites that are as good as can be and having them ready. So unfortunately, the two don't necessarily always go together. For IDP, we will have access to the new sites in early November. That's when they have moved into production. And only like 3 weeks later, we'll already be in a place to go live. How can we do that? The reason for that is that we are currently optimizing the content, collecting and optimizing the content already outside the actual backends. And because we're doing this in a kind of parallel approach, which actually requires a lot of work, that's why we can then ingest the content and be in a position to go live. The other reason is that we have a very fast and fabulous Blitz team that will be here in Brussels from the 10th or 11th of November until the 20th. And they will then actually work on getting those sites into a state that we can be really proud about them. And hopefully you will have very little changes and then we can go live in early December. So what will happen is currently you don't have to do anything. A lot of work is going on in the background. We'll collect your content. We will then optimize the content in English and translate this optimized version into the languages that have been specified. At the same time, a designer is selecting header images for those sites that are perfect for those sites, so that those pages look great. Then the Blitz team will make those pages, those sites even greater. And then you will receive a preview link. This preview link you will have to share with the owner and any other stakeholders of those properties, get their approval, get any changes that may be necessary, send them back to us. Further details will follow. You will receive this sometime around the 20th of November. And you have about a week to give us feedback. After you have given feedback, we will make any changes as necessary. And then after your final approval, those sites will go live. We aim for those to go live in the beginning of December. But please be ready to receive those preview links around the 20th of November. And please be prepared to give feedback within a week. Now for IRS, it's similar. However, the big difference is that you have already gotten access to the backend of the IRS, and because there were a lot of changes in the summer and nobody was here, I think there was a time where maybe there was less communication around the IRS. Apologies for that, but we had to figure things out as well. So what has happened? Web Canada have already migrated part of your sites into the new CMS. So they're now on Live CMS 5 as well. Theoretically, you could access those. However, as you know, the new IRS allow for a lot more flexibility than the old ones, and you have to build each page using Page Layout Builder, and you have to assign new content blocks. So what we thought, at the same time, we have this great Blitz team already, and we thought if we have two sites that have to launch at a similar time, we have an amazing team that will ensure quality, and we can get the help of a designer as well. Let's just streamline those two processes and get everything live at the same time. Also, while you have access to the RS already, if you have ordered one, not all of the functionality is live already. So whilst we are seeming to delay the launch of the RS, actually, we're making more functionality available sooner. Also, we are ensuring that the content collection goes through the same rigorous quality guidelines and the same optimization as with IDP. So the one thing you could do is you get access to the backend, you have some content in there, probably the images and the best resolution they could be, and you have to change the appearance settings and the design, and you don't really know what to do. Instead, we've come up with a plan of attack, really. We will do the content collection for anybody who's participating in a Blitz. You will have to provide a logo and some other details. You have been approached by Web Canada already if that's the case. Everything else will be handled for you. The design will be selected or will be set by designer. The quality will be ensured by our great Blitz team. And then again, you will receive preview links after November 20th. And similarly, you will have about a week or more if you need to provide us with feedback. So really all you need to do is wait for that link, give feedback, and enjoy, and then care for those pages after. So what you may wonder as well is, what if you don't participate in a blitz? So most of the people who have ordered a new restaurant site have actually chosen to participate in a blitz, which is great. But there's a lot of sites that haven't migrated yet, probably most likely for budget reasons, but sometimes because the content isn't ready or for any other reasons. So if you are launching in Q1 in 2016, obviously you will not have the opportunity for your site to participate in a blitz. However, we will provide support for those venues as well. We are currently planning on how exactly that support will look, but it will be a structured approach and will give you as much support as possible. You will also have the opportunity to choose to opt for those design services that that venues in the blitz already receive. However, that might be at a cost, as this is provided by Web Canada or another source. And obviously, you're free to get your own design resource as well. What you should also know is that the existing IRS sites, if you haven't migrated yet, the platform they're running on is a really old platform. It's LiveCMS 4, and support for those will stop sometime in 2016, probably early Q2. So you have to be aware that if you don't want to migrate, you will probably lose your old IRS site. So please budget for a migration. You know the costs, it's been in the order form. Please budget for that in 2016, or plan for not having a site anymore. So those are the two options, but I think there's really great benefit in switching to the new IRS. That it's a great product. You have a lot of flexibility. And I think they're great. Another few things to consider is that if you have a new IRS site, you will also be in the SPG Cravings platform. You will be featured more prominently, and traffic will be driven to the SPG Cravings as well. So you just have this extra exposure that you can benefit from as well. So I think that and a lot of other reasons are really good arguments to have a new IRS site. If you have further questions, obviously feel free to ask me. And I think that's about all that you should know about IDP and IRS for now. Obviously, if you have further questions, feel free to reach out, and we'll communicate something on Astra as well, so that you have all the information right at your fingertips whenever you need it. If there are no further questions for today, I will conclude today's Hangout. Just as a reminder, please send in all of your lists. I think for keywords, for broken links, and for errors that you need to fix, please send them by the end of the month, as the quarter ends and the DGI will come out beginning of October. So if you want to be included or if you want to be in there as completed, then please send those lists in shortly. Also, I won't be in the office next week. Finally, I have a holiday. So if you don't hear from me next week, that's because I'm not there. If you don't hear from me otherwise, please give me a call. It might be that I'm just really busy collecting content, as is Ryan. So we're working on your IDPs and IRS at the moment and might be a bit slow in getting back to you. If it's really urgent, it might be easiest to just pick up the phone and give us a call. All right. So thank you very much for your participation today, and I will speak to you in about a month in the next Hangout, or of course anytime sooner about any other things, questions, if you reach out to me. Thank you very much and have a good day.